I took myself in an airplane flying from Alaska to Minneapolis a year and a half ago. And you could see there the moon is below what we would call eye level, or true level would be a little more um, like correct jargon.
God! Oh Christ!
Yeah. True level, bitch.
True level would be a little more like correct jargon.
True level would be a little more like correct jargon. So what Toon just showed you was 20 times zoom. So nobody ever claimed that the horizon rises to zoomed in eye level. It rises to regular eye level. Okay, to get any discernible gap between the crosshairs or the eye line and the horizon, you got to zoom in. This is about 15 foot above the water, and you still can't make out the gap. With the waves, the crosshairs are a little bit under the horizon. So the horizon is a function of distance, and it's the visible location. Without our eyes, there wouldn't even be a horizon. But so we take it down lower to the beach, about 6 foot, and basically same thing, man. The crosshairs are just a little bit below the waves, or just sitting basically dead on the horizon. That's all you ever get.
Hello, Jeff the Maine Surveyor here. I went back to Williams Reset in Cape Elizabeth at Portland Headlight, as I said I would in this video calculating Earth's radius from horizon drop, and I wanted to do 10 sets of angles to the Al-Biruni equation. Helps us measure Earth's radius, and the way it does that is you are looking down from the horizontal to the horizon.
That's weird. Look, to figure out the radius, you have to use the radius. Ain't that weird? Look, there's the equation right there. It's got the radius all over it. How are you going to determine the radius if you have to use the radius?
Because that is telling us how close our mean angle is to whatever the real angle is supposed to be.
The real angle's supposed to be. What do you mean what the real angle's supposed to be? Well, let's see.
And then, so plus or minus 1 second is really good. And then we have a radius that we calculated. The radius is larger than Earth's accepted figure. So if the average of Earth's radius is 3959 miles, that comes out to be 20,903,520 feet. And we are over that by a good 7 million feet there.
By a good 7, maybe. We're off. It's supposed to be 20 million, but it's 7 million. Just off by 7 million. So, you know, the standard refraction ain't even going to cover that. So what do they pull out of their hat? Let's find out.
And so we correct for that. So we use a refraction correction. And in this case, I used 4/3 of Earth's radius. You're going to want to check out Ruha's video on refraction.
So 4/3. So 7/6 ain't big enough. So they use 4/3. So, and if that don't work, then we'll use 3 seconds. You know, whatever we need to make it work, I guess, because you know whatever makes it match the real angles. And I thought that Cape Elizabeth was like cliffs. You know, I thought that was up in the air when you went there. It's high, so I thought that was out of the standard refraction zone. When you get up in elevation, you know, they tell us not to measure things like black swan over water. And here, look at all these corrections he's applying up on cliffs and shit. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Because any refraction correction is an estimate. But standard refraction falls short when we have pretty good humidity. And I did this day, I had 82% humidity. And there was more refraction than there would be than standard.
He probably figured out his humidity looking at these numbers. But you see that when they try and throw this as proof, you know, you have to have R to even measure R. That's the joke. So not only are you not proving anything, to even calculate the radius, you have to have the radius. It's kind of a joke. And it gets worse. Look at these numbers. Like, so he's measuring to the horizon, and he's up on a cliff, you know, about the equivalent of an 8-story building. And he is measuring less than 2 arc. The majority of these measurements look like they're less than 2 arc minutes. So we're talking about probably somewhere in the order of 1/40th of 1 degree. So you basically you have to zoom in to even be able to see that. So the horizon does rise to eye level, but not zoomed in eye level. When you zoom in, you can see a little gap, basically. So the horizon rises with eye level, not exactly to eye level. We wouldn't expect that even on a plane. The horizon is a function of distance. So the clearer the day, the further the horizon is going to be. And the smaller the gap between the crosshairs and the water will be. And one last thing, when you start factoring in 4/3R, you're adding like a third of the size of the radius. So you're basically you're adding like 1,300 miles to the Earth's radius, which basically gives you an Earth with a circumference of like 10,000 extra miles. So no big deal, just 10,000 extra miles, just a 33,000 mile circumference Earth. What a joke. So there's the numbers. He's supposed to get 20 million, he got 27 million.